Welcome to odds.com and the Odds HQ YouTube channel. I'm Ian Cameron. I'm back with another NBA betting preview video. This is considered my quote-unquote best bet for Saturday. It is definitely a game that I have a very good interest in from a betting standpoint. So let's get right down to business. It's the Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Indiana Pacers. Right now, Philadelphia, a 6-point favorite in this game. The steady flow of money really has come in on the 76ers for the last week and a bit. They opened as low as 4.5 in this game, now up to 6 total, 218.5. That total's gone up quite a bit from the opener as well. So the Sixers and the over have taken the money. I agree with the money with one of those. I don't necessarily agree with the money with the other one when it comes to this particular matchup. Let's start with the fundamental reasoning why Philadelphia has taken money here in this game. And it's quite obvious. There are personnel issues with the Indiana Pacers. There are question marks and key, critical, important players to the success of the Indiana Pacers are questionable for this game. We have to start with Victor Oladipo. This is a guy that at the very beginning said, I'm probably not going to play here in Orlando during this NBA restart. And all of a sudden he changes his tune a little bit, thinks, you know what, I might be healthy enough. I think I want to participate. So I think I am going to play. And now, we've had these lingering injury issues. And now it looks like it's going to be a game time decision, according to head coach Nate McMillan, as to whether Victor Oladipo suits up in this game for the Indiana Pacers. I think what's even a bigger concern, though, for Indiana going into this game is being without arguably their best big man. He probably is their best big man, I'd say so. Domantas Sabonis, he is listed as doubtful to play for the Indiana Pacers due to plantar fasciitis, which is a nasty, nasty foot injury. So there's no doubt they're going to miss Sabonis, no question about that. Especially in this game, when you think of who the opponent is. You look at Philadelphia, the two Twin Towers, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Who's going to contain those two guys? Who's going to be rim protectors? Who's going to muscle up against them in the low post now that Domantas Sabonis is not going to play? I mean, maybe Miles Turner. Miles Turner is a gamer, but I still don't know if he can win a battle of strength in the low post and in the paint with either Embiid or Simmons. Doug McDermott's a big guy, but he's more of a finesse player. He's more of a shooter, more of an offensive type guy, not necessarily a guy I think of when it comes to big-time defense against bigs of quality. TJ Warren, kind of the same thing. So to me, the Pacers are going to struggle now without Sabonis in there against Embiid and Simmons. That's a concern. Didn't even mention, by the way, Al Horford, veteran center, another guy that gives them some size down low. That's a concern for the Sixers. Tobias Harris, he can be a spot-up shooter, but he can also take it to the rim. There's another guy that's pretty big that's going to test this somewhat short-handed Indiana front court. And the thing that also worries me, too, is I went right to looking at one key stat for this game. As soon as I saw Sabonis was going to be out, how good is this Indiana team in terms of defending the rim, points in the paint? Well, they're only 15th in the NBA defensively in terms of points in the paint allowed. So that tells me they could have some defensive struggles here containing this Philly front court, and that is a big-time concern for them. Malcolm Brogdon certainly in the backcourt. You like him quite a bit. There's players you like on this Indiana team there, but I think without Sabonis, it is a critical matchup concern for them against that Philly front court. The Philadelphia 76ers, this is going to be a great first game to see what they're all about. We know they've been heavily hyped the last few seasons. People have basically, given them the crown as the future dominant team in the NBA for many years, a couple years back when they assembled Embiid and Simmons and really started to get some, elite level top tier talent to assemble this basketball team. But this is not a team that's been able to hit the accelerator with this young core intact. They have been up and down. Consistency's been a problem. They have not had any big-time success in the postseason, in the playoffs yet. So there is some definite pressure on the 76ers to perform here. When the pressure's at its greatest, can they elevate their game? We're going to find that out now over the next few weeks. We'll see how it goes for them. The 76ers, though, did play some pretty good ball before the break, and one of the big-time factors in leading to that performance level for them was Shake Milton running the point guard position. That's something that only happened for the last 10 games or so right before the break, and he was really good. 7 straight games of double digits in points scored before the hiatus. He was very good facilitating the offense, and Shake Milton really started to give this team a legitimate spark and a legitimate jolt as the point guard. You know, you combine him with Josh Richardson. We were concerned with the Sixers. Who's going to step up from the perimeter when J.J. Redick left the team in the offseason? But Josh Richardson has been that guy. You know, he stepped in. He's averaged 13.8 points per game. That's very good. So Philadelphia's definitely got some other players that have been able to step up. What I am concerned about here, like Philadelphia's talking the talk. We got to show what we're all about. You'd expect them to play hard, be motivated here, but I can't get past the fact you're now being asked to lay 6 points away from home with a Philadelphia team that, do you know what their record was this year in road games? 10-24 straight up. That's straight up, by the way. Think about that. This is now a team laying 6 points in this game, and they are 10-24 straight up away from home, 9-23-2 against the spread away from home in 34 games. That's not going to cut it. I am not laying 6 with Philadelphia. Flat out, I'm not doing it with that dubious road record. I know this is a neutral court, not a true road game, but it still feels more like a road environment and a road game than it does a home game. You just didn't get Philadelphia showing you any sort of quality play for the most part this season away from home. I just can't lay points with that kind of brutal track record on the highway. I can't do it. I won't do it. That being said, fully aware there's major injury concerns and personnel worries for Indiana. I understand that. That's why they're 6-point underdogs in this game. But if you ask me, I would still take the points with Indiana, even without Sabonis, and maybe even if they're without Oladipo. And in fact, I would wait right till before tip-off, 7 p.m. Eastern. Get the word whether Oladipo's in. If he's out, you can probably even stretch your waiting period further and wait till the very last second to bet Indiana. Because if Oladipo's ruled out, this line's probably going to climb even higher. You might even see 7 or 8 with Philadelphia if Oladipo is ruled out before opening tip-off. If he is ruled in, you're going to want to hop on Indiana as soon as you find that out, because you know there could be some late Pacers money if Oladipo ends up playing for them. So that's the big personnel concern. I lean Indiana from a side perspective, but my strongest bet and stance in this game is on the total. I like it over the total of 216. Well, it was 216, and I put 216 in the article when I wrote it, but it's gone up even since then, 218.5. I would still go ahead and bet at 218.5. I think we get into the 220s here. Every one of these games today has taken over money, and it's probably because of what people saw yesterday with every game in Orlando sailing over the total. But this one, I think the over makes sense from a matchup standpoint. I think the Sixers offensively, they might be able to get to the rim and score at will inside in this game without Sabonis on the floor. And on the flip side, Indiana plans on playing a little bit faster pace. Head coach Nate McMillan saying they might go small, use a smaller lineup in this game, so that could increase pace and the number of possessions. And it's worth noting, too, Indiana, during the regular season, 3 meetings against Philadelphia, they had no problem scoring against the Sixers. 110 points per game average in those 3 head-to-head matchups. And I think they can, still with Malcolm Brogdon leading that backcourt, there's still some offensive ability there for the Pacers. So I like this game over the total. It's up to 218.5 right now, but I still like it at that number. So best bet would be Philadelphia, Indiana over 218.5, and a smaller lean to Indiana +6 in this matchup between the Sixers and Pacers here on this Saturday NBA card. Thank you for watching. I'm Ian Cameron. Make sure you're checking out odds.com every day for great sports betting content, and make sure you're subscribed to the Odds HQ YouTube channel. I'll be back with more NBA betting video previews throughout the NBA restart in Orlando. Good luck with all your wagers, and I'll see you again next time.